Hello, welcome to the first ever episode of Selling Sussex. Today I am joined by Abby from Within Walls. Welcome, Abby.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. So me and Abby have known each other for quite a while now, haven't we? Been through all our pregnancies together. And so Abby, do you want to start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and about Within Walls?
Sure, yeah. So we do property photography for agents, builders, interior designers. We kind of specialise in more kind of like the luxury lifestyle approach with photos. So we take every property individually. So new builds, we always kind of think about the ideal client who's going to be looking for those properties. So, you know, they want lots of space and things like that. We photograph accordingly. Things like old Tudor houses, we'll then photograph those slightly differently because you've got a different clientele. So it's just imagining what the ideal buyer is and then developing our strategy around that.
So it's not just photography you do. Do you want to talk a little bit about the other services you provide as well?
Sure, yes. So we also do floor plans, EPCs and videos as well. So we're kind of like the one-stop shop for agents. So you don't have to get multiple people in. It's so much more convenient for vendors when they can get all of their marketing done in one visit as opposed to having loads of people over like a week or so. So we'll do floor plan, an EPC, the photos and the video if all are necessary, and we get it all done within 24 hours and sent across to the agent.
Obviously, in regards to property photography, how important is it to have a professional photographer to take those photos? I mean, I often get asked, like, "Oh, Amanda, I've got a photo I've taken on my iPhone of the house in the snow. Can you use this?" Which is lovely, and you know that's great for me to maybe show people when someone's buying the property. But for the marketing perspective, how important is it?
When you have professional photography done of your property, it can really alter the perceived value of the property. A lot of people don't realise that when you're doing photos of property, the lighting is, I would say, slightly illogical. A lot of the time, for example, if it's bright outside, then we'll add the lights on. If it's dark outside, we turn the lights off. Yeah. So if you're taking the photo by yourself, obviously if it's quite dark, you want to turn the lights on, and actually that makes the photo look darker. You really need a professional photographer to basically do a really, really good job. A really good example of that is I went to a job where it was the second agent. Basically, the vendor was really, really keen to move very, very quickly. So the previous agent, no fault to them, that was just what the vendor wanted, but they took the photos themselves and they did the same thing that everyone would think, turned all the lights on. But because they couldn't edit the photos were slightly orange, it made it look dark. Yeah. So the property didn't sell. She had to go to a different agent. They brought me out. The photos were obviously very, very different. When I looked at the photos before, I thought that, well, yeah, put it this way, I wouldn't have viewed the property. And then imagine my surprise when I turn up and it's like a show home. It was amazing. So I did the photos, and once it went online, it sold within a day, and it sold for more money than the asking price. So that's kind of proof that if you get a professional photographer in, it's actually better to wait slightly longer to get the really good photos. And overall, the process will likely be a lot quicker and you could even get more money for your property.
Great. And lastly, if someone is thinking of coming to the market soon and they want to prepare their property in order for you to come around and take the photos, is there any tips or advice you would give someone of things to do to make their property best presentable?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the main thing is decluttering. I think the more stuff you have, the more difficult it is for people to see past it. A lot of people will take things at face value. Yeah. So if you can't see through things, a lot of people do struggle to imagine themselves kind of in that house if all of your stuff's in it. Obviously, don't completely clear your house out. You know, you still want it to look like a home. Yeah. But it's just being mindful of all the what people would deem as clutter around, just kind of simplify things a little bit. And things like adding fresh flowers and stuff like that, it makes such a huge difference to houses as well.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for your time today, Abby. And if you would like some more information about Abby's services or would like to find her details, they'll be found at the bottom of this video.